Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Yeah, we know they playing 17, 18 games now. I did it in 16 games, but we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about what's going on in the world and the NFL news and all those good things, man. We know Friday night vibes, man. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I've been feeling a little longhornish a little lately, man. I don't know if I want to eat longhorn. I don't know if I want some fish. I already had some fish, man. But let me bring on my co-host for the night, man. 2-3 Dries. How we doing tonight? 2-3 Dries.
Man, what's up, man? I was just you talk about food, man. I was just in Philly. They was feeding me good, man. I went to a few restaurants, do some content for them, but man, I had so much food. So you talk about food, started getting me hungry again.
Yeah, man. You might need to start doing true food reviews, man. Going and just all out, man. Say I'm reviewing your food. I'm coming to your area, man. Make sure y'all have your best cook back there in the kitchen, because I'm coming to see what it's tasting like. I travel all around the world, and mostly I travel to see the Philadelphia Eagles play. So when the Philadelphia Eagles are in town, you better have some good food for me. You feel me?
Right.
I like that, man. But yeah, man, it's the off season. We are here, man. The draft is about a couple of months away, maybe a month and a half, a couple of months. Yeah, it's about a couple of months away. And favorite team, man, it's a lot of free agents, a lot of free agency is about to pick up. We got transition tags about to transpire. The franchise tag has already been tagged. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all know it take a little while for me to warm up. But, man, who's going to be available out there, man? It's going to be, I don't know, man, Jalen Waddle. I don't know, George Pickens. It's going to be some talent out there, man, and teams trying to make their roster.
Yeah, the offseason get interesting when you got all the free agents coming up, the draft and everything like that. I mean, you got some surprises. Some people end up like, let's talk about last year. George Pickens ended up in Dallas in the first place. That was like a huge surprise. So you about to see some breaking news like coming up soon.
I think the biggest surprise are the teams that will make the biggest splash in free agency. One team in particular, the New England Patriots, baby. The New England Patriots, I can see them going after a dynamic receiver to help out with Drake May. I'm not sure how much longer they're going to deal with Stephon Diggs being there, but I can see them going after maybe a Jalen Waddle, right? A A.J. Brown. I'm not sure if A.J. Brown still has that ability that he once had. He can still make plays and get it done. They're saying, maybe give up a first rounder for him. If anyone gives up a first rounder for A.J. Brown, trade him immediately. I'm sure Howie Roseman will get that done if anyone is willing to give up a first rounder for A.J. Brown at this stage in his career. You know what I mean? Look like he's slowing down a little bit, getting a little tighter and things like that. But I see the New England Patriots making a big splash in free agency, particularly for a big-time wide receiver. Stephon Diggs, $20 million this season. I'm not too sure he's going to be around. And it's looking like he may not be around. And obviously, y'all know I talked about it with Christian Gonzalez coming up and him expecting a new contract. Stephon Diggs may be the odd man out when it's time to pay Christian Gonzalez, because you got to clear up some money somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see, man. I don't know. Then we got Kenneth Walker III, man. I'm not sure if the Seahawks is going to resign him or be able to retain his services. I'm so surprised they didn't franchise tag him. They chose not to franchise Kenneth Walker III. He is a elite, big-time running back. And if he does not get back or play for the Seattle Seahawks again, that is going to be a different dynamic on offense. And like, if y'all follow me on Twitter, I have them at a 90% chance of getting back to the Super Bowl and repeating this season. The only team that stands in their way, in my opinion, is the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams is that's a team that's in the division. Same physical aspects. They play the same type of physical football. The only different dynamic between these two teams is Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford is the X factor. Matthew Stafford is getting older. And let's talk about Matthew Stafford, right? Because all of a sudden, Matthew Stafford is this great quarterback. And everybody probably will, if you ask random people what they would rank Matthew Stafford at, they probably would put him in top 10 all the time. And just a while ago, Matthew Stafford couldn't smell the top 10. And he's still the same player. He's still the inaccurate passer. He still has up and down, his highs and lows. You know what I mean? When he gets streaky good, he does a marvelous job. And but he doesn't play consistent enough to be a top 10 all time. And that is crazy, man, how 1 year, a couple years can change everything. And he's only won one Super Bowl. And I see people try to talk Matthew Stafford up, MVP, this and that. And man,
I mean, he is MVP. But yeah, top 10 all time. I don't know about that, but he definitely won himself an MVP. He won himself a Super Bowl. But my thing with Matthew Stafford, he always had the numbers. Like even when they was losing every game in the Lions, he always threw for over 4,500 yards. He always had like Calvin Johnson. Then he had Cooper Kupp. Then he had Puka. Whoever his receiver is, he'll give him 10 15 targets. He going to him all day long.
But yes, he always had the yards and always had those pretty stats that everyone tends to look at. But when you look at the stats that are very meaningful, like the completion percentage, how many attempts he's had, how many times he completed the football, how many key situational throws he has made in crunch time. You understand? And to me, Matthew Stafford, of course, we don't have all the direct numbers, but I've watched enough of Matthew Stafford, and I'm telling you, he's not going to check out when it comes to all of those categories, talking about situational football, having a high completion percentage, spreading the ball around to different receivers and things like that. Like you said, he needs a Calvin Johnson or a Puka Nacua, and that is who he's going to get the football to. That is his bread and butter when he's running the offense. Find my number one receiver, build all the confidence we need in each other, and feed him the rock. That's the plan for Matthew Stafford, man. That's the plan.
Sure. I heard one of those wide receivers, I forget which one it was, but when Cooper Kupp was on the team, they say like Cooper Kupp and him used to meet like an hour before everybody else. And that's why he used to like get the ball all the time. They be in there together, just like going over stuff all day. And that's why Cooper Kupp he won a Triple Crown that year.
Don't get it twisted. Quarterbacks have their friends who they are really friends with and they care about. So, of course, they're going to try to build some type of camaraderie when it comes to getting the football to them on the football field. And then they have their go-to players who they know are athletes and know they're awesome, but sometimes they may choose to get the football to their friends because that's just human nature. That's just the way it is. And man, we could go on about quarterbacks with receivers with different type of relationships and who they threw the football to more and who was more athletic on that team at the wide receiver position. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, free agency is coming up. Like I said, I want to see what the New England Patriots is going to do. I don't know about the Philadelphia Eagles. What the Philadelphia Eagles have in store in free agency to make that team better, man. And there was rumors that Howie Roseman tried to trade for Michael Parsons. So it's always trying to make that defense better, aggressive, and you got to get on the level of Seahawks.
I think they're going to try to go for Max Crosby. I think that's the move they want to do this offseason is get Max Crosby to Philly. I think that's how we're going to want to do.
I'm hearing a lot of noise about Max Crosby going to the Philadelphia Eagles, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he still has the juice. Yeah, he could still play at a high level. He's one of those high motor type players. Yeah, definitely could find a role with the Philadelphia Eagles, man, and just want to continue to make that team better. But tonight, man, we're going to talk about we have a few things to talk about. And we're going to talk about Lions player, getting into some trouble. Or not, actually, he's not getting into some trouble, but his name appears that he is linked to some trouble. Why they are calling his name linked to the supposed trouble going on? We'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about a high school being fined almost $2 million.
Jeez.
One of the top prep schools or one of the most popular prep schools in all of schools has been fined almost $2 million. Now I'll talk about Cam Newton and then the great Floyd Mayweather. The great Floyd Mayweather. What is he up to? What does he have brewing, man? So let's get into it, man. Like I said, Lions player Terrion Arnold linked to some suspects. Lions player linked to suspects, man, that are being accused, man, of some brazen crimes, right? Robbery and allegedly kidnapping. All these things are alleged, right? But they're being linked. They have been arrested and charged, But we have to understand as athletes, professional football players, basketball players, or what have you, the bigger the name, the bigger the target players are prone to. You understand? The bigger the target we become. Just being in the NFL and being in the limelight. And people understand how much money, assets, jewelry, nice things that we have and keep around us. You know what I mean? But in this situation, this sounds like one of those deals where keeping it real is the wrong way to go, And yeah, let's get into it.
Several suspects have been arrested in Tampa in an alleged armed robbery and kidnapping. A number of them are linked to an NFL player, and 2 of those defendants appeared in court this morning for a pretrial detention hearing. Fox 13's Kylie Jones is joining us live with the details. Kylie, what more can you tell us?
Well, Haley, detectives say this is a tangled web that weaves back to Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold. Prosecutors said that armed robbery and kidnapping was reported just days after high-end bags, guns, a cell phone, and $100,000 in cash were stolen from a home in Largo.
Those are not the crimes, any crime you don't want your name to be associated with, but those crimes in particular, oh man, it just reeks badness when you say NFL next to those crimes.
From stolen valuables to an alleged armed robbery and kidnapping, investigators say the web of players involved traces back to NFL star Terrion Arnold.
And then these other people that we're going to talk about in terms of suspects, are they all in some way, shape, or form sort of connected to him?
Yes.
The investigation began earlier this month. Detectives say 3 men reported an armed robbery and kidnapping. According to court documents, the men were lured to this Tampa apartment complex by these 2 women, where Lindell Hudson and Christian Williams were allegedly hiding out waiting for them.
They are battering the 3 victims, and they are
hiding out, lurking, and waiting. Set up. That's what this alleging their legend has happened, right? And as a football player, man, just period. That feeling of feeling disrespected just feels terrible for a man. A lot of people just in general, right? But sometimes we take the disrespect too far, and everyone feels different about disrespect. Sometimes you just got to learn to let it go, right? But don't make a decision that can potentially jeopardize your career in a situation like Terrion Arnold. If these things that his friends being alleged of and he's being associated with is true, right? Just don't jeopardize your career, your chance to change the trajectory of your family's life. You know what I mean? $100,000.
He's so early in his career too.
Right. They talking about $100,000 was stolen. $100,000 isn't worth it when you're about to make millions upon millions of dollars, especially if you're a very talented player. If you're just a starter in the NFL at cornerback these days, you're going to make at least $10 to $15 million a year. So trying to get some get back over $100,000, yes, it may sound like a lot to us, and it is a lot of money to any individual. But to the NFL and players in the NFL who have these guaranteed contracts, you can't put your career in jeopardy or at risk to try to get some get back. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the best way to move, because I've been in these situations and I know exactly what they're going through. Because you're trying to hang out, it's the off season. You went to work for 7 months, 7 grueling months, training camp, all those things, But the best way to move for athletes, professionals, high-end people, period, is to put things like an Airbnb in someone else's name, your homeboy name, your friend name, your cousin name, someone else's name. Because if a situation like this transpires and something comes up, when they start researching the records and who was responsible for this property, Now your name is not associated with, now it's not a big deal anymore. But because a professional athlete name is associated with, it's a big deal to everyone. Lawyers, the investigators, the police, everyone gets to get some shine, possibly make some money.
Even the news stations, they probably would have skipped that story, but now your name is attached to it. It's the biggest story that's on the news now.
Exactly. And you see, they have to say an NFL player, the Lions player, is linked to this possible situation to make this a big deal. You know?
Mhm.
But like I said, I know what he's going through. Young players, especially, he's a Florida boy. Terrion Arnold's a Florida boy, if I remember correctly, or I heard correctly. He's from down there, West Palm Beach somewhere, you know? Like I said, I myself was caught up as a young athlete in the NFL, you know, with keeping it real. You know, keeping it real while I was in the NFL. And keeping it real goes wrong all the time, pretty much, you know. And I wanted to help my people out. You know, I wanted to help the people I grew up with, you know, in the same environment as myself. I wanted to help them out. But that was a fail. And at the same time, it made some of the people I grew up with envy me more, because the closer I let them into my life, the more and more they got jealous, the more they envy me, you know?
All right.
And the people who are close friends to us athletes that we grow up with, you know, they'll step up in the time of need, like this situation, and handle the issue. But you gotta be smart, gotta be wise. And ask yourself, is it worth it? It's never worth it. But there's things and there's ways around these situations how to wheel and deal. You gotta learn how to wheel and deal. Always keep your name and your contacts, you know, your phone, who you're calling. Always keep that stuff out of territory, you know?
Right. Man, we spoke about the offseason and get crazy with free agency and trades and all that stuff, but every single year you see a few stories like this that comes out with athletes getting in trouble. So it's like that's like guaranteed as well, man. So these athletes got like, and it's always a younger, if you notice, it's always younger athletes most of the time.
Always will be the younger players, because of course the older guys matured and they've seen situations, you know. And if you're not familiar with Terrion Arnold, here he goes right here, man. He used to wear number 0. Now he's wearing number 6, or vice versa. He used to wear number 6, and now he's wearing number 0. He plays cornerback for the Detroit Lions. You know,
number one draft pick. Well,
number one draft
pick. First round draft pick, I should say.
Didn't he go to University of Alabama as well?
Yeah,
I think so, but we could look that up. But you know, I could relate to a lot of these stories. Like I always tell you, and I give you my side and my perspective of things, so you can understand what everyone has gone through. And I've been there and done a lot of different things. And just like, I'm not going to just say Terrion Arnold, I'm going to say a lot of young athletes. I put my career in jeopardy in so many instances, you know. But I was blessed to have very little hardships while I was putting my career in jeopardy, you know.
Mhm.
I understood life at a young age. I understood the things that can really jeopardize your career, or, you know, just take you out, you know, basically take you out the game.
For sure.
And how I jeopardized everything was starting a record label. And we all know a record label comes with the hood mentality. You know, most artists and people working in a record label, doing the street work, and the artists don't really have an education, never been to college. So they not mature. They don't have a great outlook on life. You know what I mean? So I'm rolling around with my record label and my artists, and it's bad. It's just a bad look. Everywhere we go, they don't know how to behave. I got them at a young age, and it was just a liability waiting to happen. Every time we stepped out of the house, you know?
Right.
And you know, everybody I grew up with, I talk about it, but, you know, basically been to jail or prison and things like that. But this one guy I grew up with, you know, he's been out of jail his whole life, right? And most of my artists as well. And probably like 1 or 2 of them are still outside and they're thriving and doing good, you know. but the rest of them, you know, it was low life. They didn't really care about life. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had about six to eight artists. Go ahead.
Mhm. No, you say you like you always want to like look out for the hood, like you want to do good for everybody. What was that moment when you realized like I gotta say no, I can't be like put myself in this mix?
When
Was it a moment that happened?
When I realized they didn't care about anything, when they didn't have a piece of a good outlook on life, right? When I basically realized there was no hope for these young men, right? Great talent, great artists. You know, name of the group was Goons United by the New School. You know, I had a Young AC as an artist. I had T Stunner. You know, you could look those guys up and hear their records and stuff like that, but it was awesome. But when I realized they didn't know how to hustle and I couldn't send them out there as men or artists and do the job without being babysitting, chaperone, that's when I realized I can't do this anymore. You know, while they're young, you give them a little grace, but then they get older and you see there's no helping. There's no, and that's why in the beginning of this, I talked about going to college and things like that because, you know, it helped change me. And I know they're from the same area I'm from. If they would have had that chance to get to college and things like that, they would have had a different outlook like myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, learn how to move in certain rooms. You can't be that same that same Zunt in
Exactly.
every single room.
You can't, man. You can't be Lauderdale Zunt everywhere you go, man. That ain't how I go. Everybody else in Lauderdale, you know, we try to be Lauderdale everywhere we go, but you know, it's a different life for me. You know what I mean? But my
rap?
message, man. Huh?
I said you rap?
I got a few tracks.
Hey, he took a while to answer. I wasn't sure.
I didn't know if I wanted to answer it right. So hey, you got to hear me out. While you hear me vibing out and you know you taking a break, go to Spotify. Look up the artist T Stunner, Tee Stunner, Stunna. Go to the record called Rookie. I'm on the second verse. Rookie ass nigga. And let me tell you, I'm jamming so hard. Let me tell you, go to T Stunner, find the song called Rookie. That's your boy, Mr. Pick Six on the second verse. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Man, y'all come back reciting them verses, my verse, boy. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be in your head, man.
You wrote that, somebody wrote it for you.
Huh?
I said you wrote it or somebody wrote it for you?
No, I'm the writer, man. I write my own lyrics. I'm not going to take any credit from any of my other artists and things like that. But of course, when they get a little writer's block or they say something, and I put my little just wisdom into it. I give them a little phrase or something to throw in there, you know what I mean, that make a little more sense. So I got some writing credits all over the place, you know, but we ain't here to talk about all that, man. But Rookie, man. Y'all go check out Rookie on T Stunner, man. Oh man, y'all check it. Featuring Mr. Pick Six or Zun. I don't know what my rap name was back then. But like I said, my message, man, to athletes that grew up in the hood, you know, as we would say, grew up in the hood, you know, tough life, all that good stuff, you know. Don't let your friends who we grew up with jeopardize anything that we got going positive for ourselves. Learn how to keep your distance. And if you use them for anything, make sure you putting certain things in your friend's name. Like I said, if you use them for anything, the first thing, rental homes, Airbnbs, hotels, anything that can make you liable, use your friends. You understand? If they get a judgment against them, it will not be anything close to what you would get against you. And you'll be able to pay that off either, you know? That's all it takes. Little tricks like that and little plays like that keep us safe. You know what I mean?
You got to say use responsible friends. Use responsible.
Yeah. Got to say responsible friends. Obviously, you should be only hanging with friends that are responsible, and you have to weed out the ones that you know you can't be taken out in the public and in this good life and things like that, you know? But ultimately, man, if you're hanging with people you grew up with, man, just show them how to be better. Teach them better, you know? And don't just do it by your words. You have to do it with the actions as well, you know? Just being a leader and constantly criticizing someone. Nobody likes to hear that all the time. But when they see you move and see how you do, that's what the leader is all about. You know what I mean? So that's Terrion Arnold, man, the Detroit Lions superstar cornerback. Or does he play free safety? I think he plays cornerback.
Yeah, corner.
Yeah, he plays cornerback.
He was the first corner drafted in that draft.
Right.
He's in the draft with Quinyon Mitchell.
Right. But yeah, man. So hopefully, man, they leave his name out of this. Hopefully he continues to support his friends. He got to support his friends. They need to be lawyered up. Make sure the canteen is straight, or whatever it's called, store day, all that stuff. I don't know about that stuff, man. I just got a lot of friends. But yeah, man. So yeah, coming up next, man. So next segment of the night. How we doing out there, chat? How we doing? What we talking about, man? It's the off season. We are here. And can you believe a high school has been fined close to $2 million? One of the top prep academy programs, like I said, in the nation has been fined $1.7 million for accepting tuition from cartels for 2 international students. Now you talking about playing with fire and playing with fire with the cartel and playing with fire when you're talking about getting on the Fed's radar. That's exactly what happens when the Feds get on your radar. Either you're going to do some time or you're going to get hit with a healthy fine. And that's what happened to IMG Academy, right? To get fined that amount of money, though, the Feds, which is the government, they know all our business. Me, you, everybody else in the chat, they definitely know IMG finances. They know how much they are bringing in every year. And that's how they're going to hit them with the $1.7 million. If you just calculate it, all those kids that go there, probably over 5,000 kids in one full calendar year of school at $100,000 a year, man, they rich over.
For real. I would say that might not be definite to them, but at that point, the most expensive thing is being on their radar for seeing how they be getting that money.
Right, exactly. And they got the cartel off. Hey, man. But the crazy thing about it, man, this isn't related. This isn't a sports-related sanction. This has to do with not following the proper requirements that basically the Feds put out there for schools, private schools, prep academies, and things like that when they're doing business with students and concerning that check. It always boils down to that check. IMG Academy set to pay nearly $2 million in fines after students' parents linked to Mexican cartel. IMG Academy, a renowned high school that has become a stepping stone for aspiring college and professional athletes, will pay a fine of nearly $2 million after it was found that 2 athlete parents had ties to a Mexican drug cartel. The U.S. Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, announced last week that the guardians of students at Bradenton in Florida Prep School committed 89 violations of counter narcotics sanctions. As a result of IMG Academy conduct, designated individuals who provided financial support and services to a sanctioned Mexican drug cartel were able to conduct commerce with U.S. persons and gain access to the U.S. financial system, the OFAC. Woo! And let me tell you, this is a big deal. But when you got 5,000 students at $100,000 a year, it's hard to go broke, baby. It's hard to go broke. You can't break IMG Academy like that, baby. But I want to know, how does everyone feel like, about sending your kids off to boarding school to pursue their dreams, to become this scholar athlete, to come the next doctor, the next Bill Gates? How do you feel about sending your kids off to another state and guardians to be responsible for your kid that you may not know nothing too much about? myself, and my wife, man, we have friends who do this. They send their kids off to boarding school, and I cannot see myself giving anyone else full control over my kids. I can't see myself giving, especially a completely different stranger. And then who knows who the next stranger will be after that year? It might be another teacher that just got hired. I can't see that. But I've learned that this is a thing. A lot of people do that. They send their kids off.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was just with Dr. J's son yesterday, and he was sent off to boarding school. He told me.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's crazy the trust that people just have out here in this world, man. But everybody grew up differently. But it's also can be a part of your life. You grew up, you know, the way you grew up, your parents probably sent you to boarding school. So it's a trickle down effect. And you just keeping it in the family. It's family tradition, you know. And maybe I would feel comfortable with a son, definitely not any of my daughters. I would feel comfortable with maybe a son at a certain age, sending him off to boarding school if I thought it would make him better or all around better citizen for society and athlete as well. Just overall better person. Maybe I would do it if I had a son, but there is no way I can feel that someone else will make my son a better person than myself. That's just me. You know what I mean? From my perspective, it doesn't make sense for kids to leave South Florida. Now, you know, South Florida kids, they don't have no reason to be trying to go up there to IMG because we have so many elite programs right here down South Florida. Mm-hmm. So going to IMG is just trying to do something different and be different down here in Lauderdale and say, I can, you know, it's just trying to, you know, just be different. That's all you can be doing down here. You have tons of programs that has a lot of history, great coaches, putting kids in school. So, you know, down here wouldn't make no sense. But other athletes, you know, in different states doesn't have as many elite programs as like South Florida or Georgia or Texas. You know, I can see those kids wanting to go to a school like IMG because you don't have many choices in your state. So yeah, this school right here, if they recruit me heavy, they promising me this and that and the other. And you know what I just learned the other day?
What's that?
Yeah, I'll give you $5 right now. No matter of fact, I'm up at the 20. I cash app you $20 right now, Drees. If you could tell me who is one of the funny people, the funny mainstays on this show that we give a hard time. He went to IMG. It's a young player. You got 5 seconds. What we got, chat? 5 seconds. 5.
IMG that came
4.
on the show?
Huh?
You said that came on the show?
No, that we talk about on the show. He went to IMG. 5.
IMG?
What y'all got, chat? 4.
I don't
3.
know.
Bro, this name is going to surprise the heck out of you. And I'm sure everyone else is going to be
Dylan
surprised.
Gabriel.
Bro, that was a really great guess. That was a really great guess. That was a really great guess. You almost came in. I was like, damn, I got to cash app him. Bro, JJ McCarthy.
Oh, for real?
He transferred his senior year and went to IMG Academy. And the rest is history. I forgot. I didn't read the full story and get into all the details. But JJ McCarthy, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, first round draft pick, went to IMG Academy. So you can see he's not a Florida boy. And he went there 1 year, senior year, and boom, the rest is history.
Yeah, my homie, he actually live on IMG Academy like campus, his apartment complex, and all his apartment complex is parents of kids that go there from all around the country. So he's living like with people from like Minnesota, Texas, all around the country, New Hampshire. Their kids go to IMG and they move down here to let them go to IMG.
Yeah. So yeah, I can understand. I can understand parents who live, you know, who believe in their kid and doesn't have the resources where they are from to send their kid to, you know, some of these programs in different states, some of these renowned programs, some of these elite programs, they got a lot of history. and seen seen kids prosper from these programs. So it's very enticing because everybody wants their kid to make it to the NFL, NBA, or MLB. You know, everybody wants their kid to make it, you know. But like I said, IMG is enticing, man. They have put over 150 athletes into the professional ranks. So the odds are, if you're a good athlete, you can get it done. First, you're going to get a Division I scholarship. And second, you supposedly have all the fundamentals and tools that you need to be a pro athlete, like J.J. McCarthy and all these other players that has left IMG Academy. So
man, they be having better training programs, better doctors, better weight rooms than D1 colleges, man. IMG.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell
they
me
got,
about
I
it.
don't know why I got that cartel money coming in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. How we feeling, Chad? How we feeling? IMG Academy, man. IMG Academy fine. Again, sanctioned $1.7 million, man. Woo.
Man, they just want a piece of the pie. That's all. They
That's
don't
it.
really care.
That's it. They just want a piece of the pie. Let them know the feds, you know, we stamped this. We made them pay up. We caught them dealing with the alleged cartel members and things like that. We don't even know if this stuff be true. All kind of stuff, malarkey. Now that President Trump is President Trump is the president, everybody out here is just saying whatever they want to say, whatever they feel like saying that day. That's what Mr. Trump does. He wake up and say whatever he feels like saying that day. And if you try to ask him any question that's going against what he's talking about, he's just going to politely just ignore you and move on to the next best question in the room.
Or whatever he want to talk about. It could be something totally different.
Those are the best questions. He's going to the best, whatever he want to talk about. If you saying anything that goes against him, if he said he's raising the tariffs 10% today, and you want to ask him anything that suggests he may not be able to do that, you're gonna let you ask your question, Mr. Trump. You said it's 10% tariff. Hey, you're gonna mumble in. What you over there? President funny, man. But next story, man. Next story for the night, man. We got Jalen Hurts, man. How is Jalen Hurts receiving so much hate? Jalen Hurts, the most hated man in the NFL this season. Wasn't always this way, but this season he's the most hated man in the NFL. What is it about the good brother Jalen Hurts that attracts so much negative attention? Is it people don't like that he's that he can't be a traditional quarterback? He doesn't play the quarterback position they want him to play like they want him to play it? Is it because people, discredit his success because he was on such a talented team? Why does the man receive so much hate?
I don't know.
And yes, Jalen Hurts was getting hated on from the start. Now, being critical is not hate. So the people that's critical of Jalen Hurts don't take it as hate. But Jalen Hurts, man, he gets negative attention coming for him in all sorts of directions and angles. Any day of the week, you will see someone pop up taking a jab at Jalen Hurts, man. And it'd be unnecessary sometimes. But for him to be the most hated man in the NFL, and he barely says anything, it just doesn't make any sense, man. It just doesn't make any sense. Jalen Hurts named NFL's most hated player by fans, ahead of Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones. Woo! Tough company. The Philadelphia Eagles quarterback topped the rankings based on negative social media engagement and fan reaction data. The findings illustrate how rapidly perception can evolve in a quarterback-driven league. Hurts now leads a list featuring established veterans, emerging players, and several polarizing names. Look up the list for me while I got this going. Hurts' placement at number 1 is notably given his early popularity. He and the Eagles drew widespread support prior to their 2024 Super Bowl win. Championship success often brings increased scrutiny, particularly for a franchise quarterback in prominent markets. Yeah. Philadelphia is not just a prominent market. It's the roughest, toughest market of them all, baby. They hate you one day and 23 hours later, they like it. The study indicates sentiment may have shifted following Philadelphia's title run. Daniel Jones and Justin Fields also appear in the top 10 or both the most loved and most hated list on both of them. Their dual presence highlights how quarterbacks can generate strong approval and criticism at the same time. Deshaun Watson's inclusion near the top further demonstrates how divisive figures continue to drive conversation. In today's NFL, visibility and narrative influence fans' sentiment as much as field performance. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But what is it? I mean, you got Daniel Jones. You got Justin Fields. You mean to tell me Jalen Hurts is hated worse than just those two individuals? Who else is on the list, my brother?
You got the kicker from Washington, Jake Moody. You got
he missed so many field goals this season. Jeez, of course
Luther Burden from the Chicago Bears, Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson, I could see him at the top of the list, even though, you know, he's not really social media engaging and causes the ruckus. It's just how people perceive him on the football field. Who else you got?
You got Cole Strange from Miami, Mike Brown from Tennessee. You of course, Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields. Yeah. You said those already.
Yeah.
And Tariq Stevenson from Washington as well. From Chicago.
But to put, I mean, I'm surprised Tariq Woolen isn't on there, but he's probably so far on the West Coast, it's not as popular to put him on there. But they
actually got Joe Burrow at 15.
Yeah. Just the fans, man, having fun. But like a popularity contest, right? It's like how popular, the more popular you are, we're going to put you in the most hated if you ain't having no success this season. But what is it about the brother, man? His playing style? Is it that he's too quiet?
I don't know, man.
Is it that he played for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't know what it is, but if you see if anybody like NFL or certain pages post something about Jalen Hurts, he just go read the comments. All the comments be like, "Man, he trash. He should he should be working at McDonald's. This. I be like, damn."
No, the year before this year, he was just the most popular guy in the NFL. He was just ranked number 1 the year they won the Super Bowl and had all that success. Everyone was on Jalen Hurts nuts.
What's so funny? I was literally talking about this last night, and we everybody talking about how Jalen Hurts had a bad year. He had the most touchdown passes of his career this year. Like a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, he had his most touchdown passes this year, but it was like such a bad year.
Right. They're looking at the total overall productivity of the offense, right? And then they want to blame him and criticize him and make the offensive struggles be all of his fault. No running game, not too much going on in the passing game. Kevin Patullo trying to learn his new players and things like that. And he takes all the blame.
Yeah, we heard Kevin Patullo. He's like
went from number 1 offense or top 5 offense in the NFL to basically sugar the shit. Right. So now he has to take all the blame.
We seen Kevin Patullo in the interview. They asked him like him running against bad fronts. He be like, "We just run it to run it." Like we all saw that video of him saying that. So that's stuff that he had to deal with.
Yeah. Also, I've learned, like I said, y'all hear me say it on Say What Needs to Be Said all the time. I took the Tupac approach. You know, all I want the money, forget the fame. I'm a simple man. That means basically staying out of the way and being quiet. But what I've learned taking that approach, staying quiet only give critics the chance to control whatever narrative they like to push forward. So that is exactly what's happened with Jalen Hurts. Everybody's dying for him to talk more and things like that. But until then, they're controlling the narrative because he just sits back and smiles. No one can really get him out of character. No one can make him blow up and start having a rant and talking trash about his teammates and coaches and things like that. So that bothers people. When people can't control you with your emotions and try and get a reaction out of you by whatever they're trying to do, that really bothers people because people are used to having control over people by situations just like that, you know?
Right.
And
And I
you see
also
them back looking clean, smiling, whether it's a good day or a bad day, and that hurts people's feelings.
it's the same way. It's the same thing with Shador, man. Just a confident man being confident about what he do is like a problem. Like if Shador go up there and say something confident, like I'm gonna do this, it's like everybody wants to say something negative. Same thing with Jalen. Jalen would be confident about something. It's like, what you confident for? You can't do that. You know what I mean? They don't like seeing a confident black man.
A quiet, confident black man who isn't concerned with the outside noise.
Mhm.
Bothers the mess out of him. And the fact that he's a quarterback in a quarterback-driven league just bothers everybody. Keep winning Super Bowls, man, and watch how much more hate, man, you continue to receive. That's all I can tell you. Just keep winning those Super Bowls, baby. Keep leading Philadelphia Eagles to success. Now, we got to get back to glory. We won one Super Bowl with them. We lost one with them. Now we got to get back to glory. All right, last story on the night, man. How we doing out there, chat? And you know we got the good brother, man. We have, no, we didn't have two more stories for the night. Sorry. We got two more stories for the night. But this one right here, man, this brother's always making some noise, and he loves his hot takes. The good brother Cam Newton, he's back. The good brother Cam Newton is back, and he's back with another hot, super hot, flaming take. And Cam Newton says the more kids women have, the more a woman devalues their worth. The more kids a woman has, the more a woman devalues their worth. They're losing their self the more kids they have. And some things just doesn't need to be said. Even though we don't say what needs to be said, Cam, some things just doesn't need to be said. But I can see it. Cam Newton trying to, he's trying to get into that red pill niche. And he likes to go at it with women, have his powwows, and it's entertaining. Like I like entertaining conversations with women. I like to see their perspective of things and things like that. But Cam, he's trying to become the new Kevin Samuels. He wants to be the new Kevin Samuels that played football. That's who he wants to be, And it's Kevin Samuels with an S. So no, that's not my cousin. My last name does not have an S in it. If anyone out there tries to spell my name, I've been doing this since elementary school. It's not Samuels. It's Samuel. So Kevin Samuels is not my cousin, but I do have a cousin named Kevin Samuel. So no S.
So you got that a lot. They say that's your cousin?
No S, baby. No S. Here we go, man. We got Cam Newton telling women the more kids they have, the more nobody wants them, basically.
Like women's value gets lowered when they have. Do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men?
I just think that the reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have.
Break that down.
Because, and I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine. You feel what I'm saying? But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids. I want you. Well, that ain't how it worked. But that's not to say that she can't find nobody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she has somebody.
Right. But do you feel like it's as the best that she could possibly do if she didn't have children?
Well, you're talking to a dude that was once in her life. I don't feel like she's going to get better than me. That's just my confidence.
I don't even think it's confidence. I have said, and I might get eaten alive, I don't think most women do better than the father of their children.
Yeah, I agree. But Cam, man, I think he has a point. You know, it may come off the wrong way. And every woman doesn't have 3, 4, 5 kids. You know, he's putting it up there with 5 kids, and maybe he's talking about a specific person or a particular situation. But you know, there's someone for everyone, right? And in the day, that's what it boils down to. There's someone for everyone. Yes, no man wants to just run up into a relationship because and see a woman that has 5, 6, 7 kids and want it to be all right, you know? And the more older we get, we realize that the damn stepdaddy don't get no goddamn respect. You know? Kids get older, like, you ain't my daddy.
You ain't my daddy. I'm about to say the same thing.
It's like as soon as they find out that this ain't my real daddy the whole time, you know, they've been brainwashed to think that, you know, somehow this new guy became your dad. You ain't my daddy. Leave me alone. As soon as you don't give him $5 to go to the corner store. You see what I'm saying?
Tell him what to do. Child discipline him.
As soon as you try to put a little reinforcement on him or some authority, because you know, goddamn well, mama, you know, 80% of the woman don't really discipline the kids, so the man got to come do it. And then as soon as you try to come put your foot down, the little nigga talking about, you can't hit me, you ain't my daddy. And what I'm supposed to do after that? What am I supposed? You just took all of the trying, all of the good stepdaddy energy that I had in me. You just wiped it right up out of me, you know. But I think at the end of the day, man, Cam is he like I said, he likes these challenges with women, and I guess that's his little flirting playground where he has this fun where he brings these unique women up. You know, and a lot of them, you know, they can articulate well. They're very intelligent. They put them in this place. If you see the young ladies talking about hyping them up, you know, and but at the end of the day, man, I think what makes Cam so controversial is that he throws stone in every direction, right? But when he throws stones, most of the time it seems like he's a contradictory person, or he's contradicting his takes most of the time, you know, because he's talking about kids that devalue themselves. I mean, women that devalue themselves because of the amount of kids they have. And then, you know, everyone's going to bring it up and talk about Cam Newton and say that, what did he have, 6 kids or 9 kids, I think, by 6 different baby mamas or 3 different baby mamas, one or the other, right? And that is the criticism that comes his way because he's not married. He doesn't have a family at home. And he's not leading by example. He's not representing the black man in the relationship category like we should be represented, basically, you know?
I remember like analysts used to bring it up when he played, like talking about how he a quarterback and got different baby mom stuff like that. Like had nothing to do with his play, but analysts would bring it up because he's a black quarterback. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what it was before social media, man. It's like, you know, these analysts and these big networks, they used to get away with saying a lot of outlandish things because social media wasn't out and we didn't have a voice. Myself, they got away with saying a lot of different things that I had no idea about because social media wasn't out and I'm on the football field, you know. But yeah, just Cam, man. It's just Cam. Cam is being Cam, and yeah, he's going to continue to have these hot, flaming hot takes that stirs up a lot of conversations and things like that. But at the end of the day, he has a point, but some things doesn't need to be said, you know, even though we're on say what needs to be said. What point did that prove by telling women the more kids you have, the more you're devalued? You know, everyone is out here trying relationships and trying to figure out what's the best relationship. Does this person really love me or have my best interests at heart? And then some, you know, situations may happen. You may have to go through 2 relationships, have 2 kids in each relationship before you find out who's really there for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like if you take out that first statement part and the second part where he explained it, more people would agree with him. But that first statement, like you devaluing yourself, is like people just gonna hear that part. They're gonna hear the explanation of why he's saying that. So I feel like the explanation was cool, but the first part where you say these women like basically don't have no value because they got multiple like baby father and stuff like that. That's like, oh no, you going down the wrong path, my good brother.
Yeah. Let me hear. Let's hear this beginning.
Value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men.
I just think that the reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have.
Break that down.
Because, and I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you.
Okay. The explanation right there, right? Now, how do we feel about that specific explanation? To me, it comes off he hating a little bit. He hating a little bit. He want everything to be about him. He want even the women that he used to date and not dating no more. He still want them to be crying, begging to be back with him, and think no one else out there can treat them better than him. Now, obviously, that's our confidence and things like that. How he really treats his women, only other people know. We don't know. Only the women know and the people that's around their relationships. If you're treating a woman very good, I mean, I think it will show spiritually, physically, emotionally, every which way possible, right? That's how it goes, right? But I really believe, man, I don't know what's up with men, and I don't know what's so hard with men, settling down and being with a woman and protecting one woman, right? Because I really feel like I'm a believer in a woman makes, behind every successful man is a really good woman, right? Or a successful man has a good woman behind him, or a really good woman can help a man achieve success faster than he would without the woman. I really believe that.
Go ahead, preach, brother, preach.
I really believe that, man. And I don't know if it's the way I grew up. Like I said, I grew up in a single family household with only a mother and a sister, no male figure around, no uncles, no daddies, no grandfathers, none of that stuff. And, not only with my mom, with my wife, my girl and stuff like that as well, man, they make every aspect of my life better. I mean, I guess it's how you choose it as well, because I wouldn't have chose anything different. You have to add on to my life, make me better, as well as I'm gonna add on to your life and make you better as well. And that's how you come about into relationships, and they last long when you handle it like that. But you gotta be friends. Gotta always be friends, man. You have to be friends and have that friendship as well, because the beauty, the looks, whatever you was attracted to in the younger days, it's gonna be gone sooner or later. So you gotta always have that friendship.
And enjoy being around each other, man.
You have to enjoy. You learned some tea, That's the news. You learned some tea out here. You want to get home and talk about the situation with your wife, with your significant other, and get a perspective. And now this is how you build your bond, and everybody understands when situations come up, they're on the same page because y'all had so many talks about situations and things that go on in life, So that's how you build your bond in your relationship. But at the end of the day, somebody has to take control and be the leader and make sure, we're heading in the right direction all the time. Getting better every day. Got to get better every day. You know what I mean? Got to get better every day. Like the good brother we're talking about next, man. We're going to talk about the good brother next, man. I don't know what to say about the money man, Floyd Mayweather. If y'all haven't heard the news, Floyd Mayweather is getting back in the ring, man.
Oh, some exhibitions?
Some
exhibitions?
This is bad. Floyd the money man Floyd Mayweather is getting back in the ring as a professional fighter after his exhibition fight with Mike Tyson coming up in the spring. I think it's in April or March. I don't know, one of these dates coming up soon, right? And Mayweather's last professional fight was in 2017 against Conor McGregor. Before that, I think he fought Manny Pacquiao. Oh, no. Alberto.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name. Yeah.
That was his.
Yeah, he didn't really have no real tough professional fights in his last 3 professional fights. Conor McGregor, Alberto, and then there was, I don't know if it was
Andre Berto.
Andre Berto, Conor McGregor, and then there was one other fight that wasn't really so tough. You know what I mean? So Floyd Mayweather is trying to jump back in the ring. Floyd Mayweather plans to end boxing retirement, return to pro fights after Mike Tyson exhibition. What is going on with the money man, Floyd Mayweather? What is happening?
Hey, man, if you know, like 2 weeks ago, he tried to sue Showtime for a bunch of millions of dollars. I guess that didn't go through, so he trying to return to boxing. Maybe that the money man.
Everybody. Floyd Mayweather, if you look at Floyd Mayweather wrong right now, he's going to sue you. You understand what I'm saying? When he started to look at all the finances and all the things he got going and that monthly budget, I talked about it with Russell Wilson. What I said, Russell Wilson probably was touching around $500,000 easy a month. Floyd Mayweather is at $2 million easy a month. If Russell Wilson is at 500, Floyd is at $2 million easy. I told y'all my peak of my life was at almost 80,000. Almost 80,000 a month. That's what I was at. Yeah.
Jeez.
But is this a legacy hit for the money man? You know, is this a legacy hit? Is this legacy now in question that he's coming out of retirement to fight? Who knows who he's going to fight, but he's coming out of retirement.
It's not going to be hard competition. Right. Whoever it is, it won't be hard.
Of course. But is this a hit on his legacy? Because after he's coming out to fight, after he's been retirement, but he's act like he has so much wealth. Is this a hit on his legacy? His whole brand is surrounded around money. The money man, all he does is show off money, bring it, pull it out of NBA games. Wherever he's at, he's pulling out money, jewelry. And some of that could be insecurity. Or it could be he's just promoting his brand 24/7, 365. But I have to say, this has to be a bad look for Floyd Mayweather. There's no hiding around this. There's no escaping this. Like you said, Floyd just came out with a lawsuit. Now you're coming out of retirement when you said you never would fight again, And basically this is proving or showing that all the money and wealth that he's explained that he had, from the buildings to the private jets, to everything that he has explained, is probably not true. And one thing I learned, man, people who talk about as much money as they have usually don't have as much wealth as it may seem. And they don't even know what they have, because a person like Floyd Mayweather, a person like the artist like I was talking about, in that profession, in the music profession, in the boxing profession, they don't go to college. They don't get the extra classes and wisdom, the extra people to meet in the area to learn about, different ways to maneuver in life. So Floyd may have thought he had all that wealth and money and things like that, but he might not really have ever knew, Floyd damn near touched $1 billion in his career. $1 billion. $1 billion.
You talk about legacy hit. I think Jake Paul for Mike Tyson. Well, did the exhibition with Mike Tyson. I think if that do less numbers than Jake Paul did, and then he goes to like a Guerrero fight and do less numbers, that's a legacy hit. Because he
That
talk
is a
about
great
how much numbers he could bring to the game and all that stuff like that. But if he go in there and have less numbers than Jake Paul did with Mike Tyson, I think that's gonna be bad.
That is a
for
great point. That will definitely be a legacy hit because, like you said, he's about money man. And then you have this new streamer guy looking like the new money man. He just doesn't promote it the way you do, and he fights the same person that you fight, and he does more numbers than Floyd Mayweather. Jake Paul does more numbers than Floyd Mayweather. This is totally going to be embarrassing. This is going to be totally embarrassing for Floyd Mayweather. Now, this fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd is supposed to be taking place in Congo, Africa. Now, they're doing some big things. They're getting some big promotions, trying to take it back to the Ali days when Ali went to Africa to fight. Now, like you say, things have to pan out. It's not going to be a good fight if anyone's expecting that. But I want to know, and y'all have to feel me, anyone that follows boxing out there, is it a coincidence that Floyd is unretiring after Terrence Crawford said he's done with boxing and he wouldn't fight for $100 million? I just want to know, because that is the fight everyone wants to see immediately.
Come on, we know Floyd not doing that.
Even though Floyd is touching 50, he acts like he still can get it done. But that is the fight we want to see. Floyd Mayweather says, Floyd Mayweather will end his professional boxing retirement 9 years after riding off into the sunset with a perfect 50-0 record on Friday. Mayweather announced his plans to box professionally again after a planned exhibit bout with legendary heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. Mayweather signed an exclusive deal with CIS Sports Fight Sports for his upcoming exhibition and professional fight. I still have what it takes, Mayweather said, to set more records in the sports of boxing. Let me read that again. I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing, Mayweather said in a press release. From my upcoming Mike Tyson event to my next professional fight afterwards. No one will generate a bigger gate, have a larger global broadcast audience, and generate more money with each event than my events.
See?
Like you said, Dries,
he's saying it, and then they don't show up.
Hit on his legacy, and I'm willing to bet that his number's not going to do as well as Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the new man in the entertainment world. Everybody loves him. He made it. I mean, he took some chances. Him and his brother have been out there all across the world taking chances on the streaming app. But you have all this big audience going to Africa. You're broadcasting. You have this big production going to Africa, and you don't do these numbers that Jake Paul did. This is the hit of all hits, man. This is going to be the hit of all hits. But this is a sad story, man. Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent kept telling us. 50 kept telling us Floyd don't got it like that. But he kept fighting. He fought what? How many exhibition fights since Floyd retired as a professional fighter? About 6, 7. He was going to China, Japan. So 100% those fights was keeping him afloat. And he was making bags, right? And if he wouldn't have had those fights after he retired from the professional ranks, we would have seen things transpire much faster for Floyd Mayweather. And he's never going to admit it. He still want to hold on to that. And don't get it twisted. Floyd Mayweather money troubles, our money troubles. I'm not saying I never got close to $1 billion. But Floyd Mayweather money troubles is nothing nowhere near close to the money troubles that we see or experience in the everyday society. His is a total difference. He could sell a couple properties. Now, I'm not sure how much money he owes in credit lines and taxes and things like that. But sad things that you hear about Floyd that is currently going on, saying he owes $100,000 in rent, and I don't know if it's New York or Georgia. That just makes it even more sadder. And 50 Cent was explaining basically he don't understand money, he don't understand business, and he thinks he's super, super rich. And I think we're going to find out shortly that none of this stuff is true.
Mm-hmm. And you see Tom Brady playing in Saudi Arabia in that flag football game for all those millions. Would you come out of retirement playing it?
Oh man, yeah, man. It's just I definitely be excited about the opportunity. I would love to get back on the field and do some football stuff. The one bridge that I would have to cross is getting on that flight to Saudi Arabia. I don't know how I'm gonna do that one. I do not know how I'm gonna do that one. But yeah, I would take it. Just put me on a flight with some few people. Put me in first class. Give me those laid, those seats that lay back all the way back. But yeah, man, Floyd Mayweather, man. Once I learned, man, about finances and financial advisors and how you invest your money in the stocks and bonds and annuities and things like that, I see a guy like Floyd Mayweather talk, and you see that he really doesn't understand money. He may make a lot of money, so it can hide. It can hide a lot of things that you do bad and do wrong when you make a lot of money, and you can still make it seem like you're doing so many great things, but in all reality, you are doing awful, in the business world. But you have these jobs and these gigs coming up to continue to make it look like it didn't bother you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But 50 Cent, man, 50 Cent, he a real one, man. 50 Cent been telling us, and he always telling us, just like he's telling us about Jim Jones and showing us what's going on, man. And yeah, this is going to be very sad for Floyd if Floyd keeps fighting and we understand. Because the thing about it with Floyd, he gets this money, he don't pay the taxes. I remember recently, a couple of years, I think he had to pay like $20-some million in the tax bill.
Jeez.
Things like that. Not understanding your finances properly when taxes are due, not jumping on those on the tax situation immediately. But he could sell a couple of properties and be right back whole, man. So Floyd gonna be all right regardless, man. Floyd gonna be all right regardless, man. So yeah, man, that was Friday Night Vibes, man. It's Friday Night Vibes, and yeah, we're gonna see y'all again, man. And hopefully, man, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to tell y'all in the beginning of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, hype it up. But hopefully tomorrow, man, Leonard Fournette jumps on the show, man. We're gonna chop it up with him, man. The LSU great. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, got a lot of energy. And yeah, we'll see, man. So it's Friday Night Vibes. I'm your boy Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel.
It's your boy 2-3 Drees.
And we're going to see y'all next time, baby. We are